Welcome to the Elite Podcast Network, home of the #1 independent wrestling coverage, available on iTunes, Stitcher, blogtalk Radio, and wherever you get your podcasts from. Follow us on Twitter at Elite Podcast Net and join the revolution now. WHRADIO. Welcome to Wrestling Heads Radio. It's me, Oscar. Taking a little week off. Now I'm back, you can say. Joining me now, I got Mr. not Jerry, but I got Tom with this. Go on, Tom.
Not much, man. Not much. You know, another Monday night. I am now also officially 22. Happy
birthday,
no
dude.
longer 21.
Happy birthday, dude. I hope you get drunk after the show.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually, because yesterday was my birthday, I ended up going to the Yankees-Mets game, missed Extreme Rules. Apparently I didn't miss much, but I did kind of catch a little bit of the replay today.
All right. Well, we'll talk about Extreme Rules a bit, but before that, we got also someone else joining us. I got Mr. Matthew Grant, who I'm actually going to be partying with during Volo weekend. Mr. Matthew Grant.
What's going on, man? Yep, got the flight, got everything going. It is official. Elite Podcast Network holding it down during Bolo weekend. It's going to be nuts.
Yep, me, you, and Skid, who cannot join us today. He's at the Dodger game. We're all going to be wrecking the place. Actually, we're going to be wrecking Reseda when Bolo weekend comes around. Now the question is now Mr. Tom's going to join us.
I'm really trying to. I'm actually probably going to know by the end of this week whether or not I can go, but it's looking good. It's looking good. I might be making my way up to California in August.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. But before we talk anything PWG and all that later on, we had to talk a little bit of Extreme Rules. I did see the pay-per-view last night. I want to say it was not. I say it was not that great to me. So it had some ups, had some downs, but I think we could start off how Extreme Rules started off with last night. The opener was Dean Ambrose going against Luke Harper in the Chicago street fight, which he went all over the place. Well, not all over the place, but it did went backstage. It's been a while since we've seen a backstage thing going on. Like we used to see it every week during the Attitude Era. But it went backstage, and then Luke Harper and Dean Ambrose end up in the SUV and then took off. So the match was, you can say, on pause, you can say. It continued on later on. We'll get back to that match later on. The next match, which shocked me, it ended up being the New Day going against the WWE Tag Team Champions, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, which ended up being, what shocked the hell out of me was that the New Day walked out WWE Tag Team Champions, which I think I know why they went in that direction. But before we talk about that, what did I say to the match? Cesaro's a freaking beast. He picked up Big E from the air. I mean, how can you pick up a 300-plus pound man like that? I mean, do you know anybody who can do that? I mean, that was freaking crazy. That's all I got to say. Tom, what you think of the New Day walking out as your new tag team champion?
I was surprised. I was surprised that they decided to go with that direction. At first, I wasn't happy with the decision because I was like, you know, Cesaro and Kidd were just getting, like, some momentum, and then they just took the tag titles off of them. But I could see why they were doing it. You know, they're kind of, you know, making the New Day kind of the heel faction / tag team. And all I can hope from this is if they do decide to eventually break up Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, I mean, you got to push Cesaro. I think, you know, if you're not going to continue with the tag team into the future, like I said, I think Cesaro would be possibly an early candidate to win Money in the Bank. I mean, I think he would be a great pick, but, you know, that's in the future. But overall, I thought the match was good. The two teams did well together. They meshed. They had some good chemistry. There was a lot of good spots in there. That's expected, you know. As much as we don't like the New Day gimmick going on, Big E and Kofi and all of them can go out and do it. And, of course, Cesaro and Tyson Kidd are incredibly talented. So it was no surprise that this was a good match. But it was an interesting decision, and I do like how they're kind of turning the New Day around, you know, from happy-go-lucky face faction to a little bit more attitude. So at first I didn't like it, but I can see why they did it.
Yeah, definitely. Matt, you want to give out your thoughts of that tag team match?
New day, new chance. No. New Day, I actually really enjoyed the fact that they got the belts. If they're starting to get over as heels, then, I mean, why not take the chance with it? I don't know what you're going to do with Cesaro and Kidd, though. I think that's the only downside with this whole situation. But happy to see, like Tom was saying, that they're finally taking the New Day gimmick seriously.
Yeah, I want to say that I kind of think that the reason why they did it is because they know the New Day are getting tons of heat. So I just think that, all right, let's just do this. Let's just piss off the crowd. Let's just give them the tag team belts because, you know, it was funny that Jim Ross actually pointed this on his podcast a few weeks ago. It just seems like everybody's cheering for the guys that come out from the indies, like from Ring of Honor or Dragon Gate. You seem like they're cheering for those guys, Cesaro, Seth, Owens. You know, they're cheering for these guys. But guys that, you know, that didn't have them, you know, that great success in the indies, like, you know, like Big E and those guys, you know, they're bullying these guys.
I think a big example of that is Roman Reigns.
Another guy's Roman Reigns, yes, they keep bullying these guys. And you say, why not have all these guys heels, like Roman Reigns, the New Day, and have other guys be faces? Because that was the whole point of the business. You got to get some guys who cheered in the booth. Why not have all those guys baby faces, Bray Wyatt baby faces, and then have the other guys get booed, you know? You kind of point that out. And then having New Day win the tag title is giving them more heat. And I think WWE likes that heat from the New Day. So I guess that's why they went with a New Day with the tag team straps. And that's where Cesaro and Kidd will, I kind of still think they're going to still team up. But then now I'm kind of getting towards where the New Day could keep the titles until they feel like drop them, or whatever the WWE wants to drop them to the Lucha Dragons. That's where I think that's where they're going. Cesaro and Kidd could break up, like what Tom was saying earlier, and I will agree with Tom. They have to push Cesaro, but it depends, like when you break them up, because it could be too soon to break them up. And because Money in the Bank should be, 2 pay-per-views away? Is that enough time to, you know, put them in the Money in the Bank and have them win it? Like, the way I see it, like, if you do it that way, I don't think Cesaro's going to win it, you know? I don't see any time to build up Cesaro and have him, you know, win the Money in the Bank like they did so much time with Seth Rollins last year. So I don't see it at all. I don't see that happening at all. But you know what? I should take that back. Remember last year, Seth Rollins betrayed the Shield the night after Payback, and he won the Money in the Bank. So it could be just planning, and maybe they already got the win of the Money in the Bank planned already, you know?
Yeah, I think if they were going to push Cesaro, winning the Money Bank is the easiest way to go. It's it's something so simple that if he wins it and you make the guy his face, it's just simple. It's simple, easy booking. It's nothing too complicated about it. But at the same time, I don't know if they're going to go in that direction. I don't know what they're going to do with Cesaro going in the future. We can only hope that maybe after seeing what he could have been and then messing it up, maybe they'll rectify their wrongs. And who knows? Who knows, though?
Yeah, definitely. Before we continue on, I just want to let our listeners know, if you guys want to join the conversation, I mean, you guys can always hit us up at Wrestling Heads at any time during the show, or you can call us. Oh shit! Sorry. You can call us. I almost said the number wrong, but you can call us at 347-945-5566. You can call us anytime. You can join us in our conversation at any time. So you can call in to disagree or agree with us. It doesn't matter. Just call in if you guys feel like it. All right.
You can call in and disagree with Oscar. Make sure that happens.
Yeah, you can do that too. Or you can tell Matt to eat a dick. You can do that too.
We went a week without a gay comment. Oh, man.
Yeah. Remember, I can come back real quick. All right. And there's something we actually skipped. We all know that Daniel Bryan did not participate in Extreme Rules due to his injury. But what they did was they moved Barrett's match to the pre-show match, and then he ended up going against Neville, and which it was a great match. I really enjoyed that match, and Neville got the victory. And a lot of people were saying it was an upset. Oh, well, fuck it. But at least Neville gets the victory. People say it's the biggest win in his career. I don't know, but I see bigger wins coming up for him. Tom, what you think of that match and Neville getting the victory?
I thought it was a good match. It was a good place to put on the pre-show. I was glad, even though, Neville and Barrett only put on the pre-show, I was glad that the tag team title match got moved to the main show. That title match being on the pre-show, I think, wasn't doing a whole lot for it. So being on the main show definitely helped the tag team title match. But, it was a solid match. Typical stuff from Barrett and Neville. Nothing out of the ordinary, but still a good, solid way to kick off Extreme Rules.
Yeah, definitely. Matt, you have a thought on that?
I didn't get to see too much of this match. I did get to see the highlights. The thing I don't understand about this is why not put the Intercontinental Championship on the line? I understand Daniel Bryan's going to be out a little while, so why keep the championship on him? I don't really get that.
Yeah, I don't want to say I think I know why, but who knows how long lengthy his injury is? Is he out for another month or two, or what's going on? I mean, if he's going to be out for exact or more than a month, they should strip him for the title. But I don't think WWE knows how long his injury is going to be. So I think they're going to give him a certain period where if he can't participate in this length, then they're going to strip him the title. I'll say give it up to Payback. If he's not cleared by Payback, then strip him for the title. That's what they should do. But another thing, I want to ask you a question, Matt. If they stripped Daniel Bryan the title yesterday, you really want Neville to win the title?
I think it would have been. I honestly think it would have been a good idea. I think you could have continued the same thing Daniel Bryan was doing with the elevation of the championship. And did it in a good way, especially elevating the NXT talent that is Adrian Neville. Well, Neville now. So, yeah.
That's a good point. I mean, that might work to me. I mean, I don't know if I can. It's hard for me to say I agree with you or disagree. Just I'm in the middle of it. Like, I was thinking, because look, in my mind, if you give it to Neville, is he going to do something with the Intercontinental title? Is he going to, make it somehow more relevant? Like, I mean, Daniel Bryan seems like it was going there, but, I mean, will I feel the same way for Neville walking on the strap how I'm feeling with Daniel Bryan right now? You know, I mean, I don't know if I'll have that feeling. But at the same time, I would rather have him wait and then win the tag titles. Like what I'm doing with the Lucha Dragons. I would rather have them wait to win the tag team titles, you know? So I'm like in the middle on that part. I don't know what you, Tom, like, would you mind seeing Neville win the Intercontinental title like right now?
It's tough just for the fact that maybe it's too early, but at the same time, you know, you could have somebody like Neville, you know, win that title right away and it wouldn't be a problem. You know, it would help elevate him even more, I think, you know, into his WWE career so far on the main roster. I don't know. If Neville would win the Intercontinental title now, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But at the same time, I think to get into full effect, maybe they would need to hold off on putting the title on him, maybe until like around SummerSlam or so. I think maybe, you know, like I said, get him onto the main roster for a couple months, let people who don't know him get used to him, and then, you know, then you can put the title on him.
Well, it was up to me, creative-wise. If Daniel Bryan wasn't injured, I will have Daniel Bryan keep it till to SummerSlam and have him going against Neville, and Neville beat Daniel Bryan. That's what I would do. But I don't know if that's the way they're going to end up doing it. I mean, it depends on Daniel Bryan's health. I mean, a Daniel Bryan-Neville match would not be bad. I think a lot of people would like to see that match. And have Neville beat him and one of their big pay-per-views, that would be freaking awesome. But who knows? We'll see what happens for. All right. The Kiss Me Arse match was next, and I think this match wasn't that bad, but then the ending was Dolph Ziggler ended up getting the victory. Was Sheamus supposed to kiss him in his ass? I don't want to say Irish. It's hard for me to say that. I'm not Irish. But you all know he was basically Sheamus was supposed to kiss Ziggler's ass, but he low blowed him and bro kicked him, and he put Ziggler's face in his ass. So basically, Sheamus did a dick move, and which I you know, believe that you know it doesn't hurt his you know his stock. You know, it doesn't bury him at all. It makes him kind of, you know, made him more better as a heel now. You know, you made him more as a dick. So I like that. So Tom, what's your thoughts of the whole Kiss Me Arse match and the ending?
It was a good match. Obviously, I think Sheamus and Ziggler can go in there and have a good match. They're two of the best workers in the company, so it was a good match. Dumb as shit stipulation. Why it had to be a Kiss Me Arse match, I have no idea. I don't think I'll ever know why. Completely ridiculous and stupid. And then, you know, the whole thing with having Sheamus make Ziggler kiss his arse. I don't get it. It was a stupid stipulation to begin with. And even though it was a good match, it just felt like the most out of place match on the night. It was just weird, and like I said, I don't know what the point of the whole stipulation was.
Well, the point was the loser's supposed to kiss someone's ass. I mean,
well, yeah, you know. I mean, I get that point, but I don't get why was that put into place? Why? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, it is Extreme Rules. There's a lot of stipulations in this kind of pay-per-view, so they couldn't find something. I guess they just brought that up. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen a Kiss My Ass match since the Attitude Era, so I guess they just added in that, and surprisingly just added during the PG era type thing. So yeah, they just probably thought like, oh, let's make this match because we haven't had one in 10 years, you know. Matt, you want to give our thoughts on that match in the ending?
Oh my goodness. I didn't understand it whatsoever. You have Ziggler win the match, and then you have Sheamus. I get like building him up as a heel, but I don't know. I just don't get the point of enforcing a match stipulation if it just never went down.
Yeah, I kind of see your frustration there, but at the same time, you know, hell, they build up Sheamus more as a heel. Maybe they're planning to do something for him down the road as a heel. So let's see what happens with Sheamus in the next few months. Maybe he'll win Money in the Bank and piss us all off. All right. After that match, there was a backstage thing with the New Day interviewing them, and then how they won their tag belts. Then all of a sudden, the SUV came back, and then it was Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper. So their match pretty much continued on. It started from the backstage. They went on the ring, and Dean Ambrose brought chairs and all that stuff. And Dean Ambrose finally got the victory. And, yeah, his pay-per-view drought ended. So, Tom, what's your thought of this whole, you could say Chicago Street Fight match between Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper? And what you think of finally Dean Ambrose ending his pay-per-view drought?
The match to me was really weirdly booked. You know, it reminded me a lot of the whole WrestleMania 8 match between Roddy Piper and Goldust, the Hollywood street fight, whatever that was. It reminded me a lot of that. I can understand what they were doing. They were trying to at least put a little bit of interest and maybe not make it so Ambrose and Harper did a lot of crazy spots, because I think they were saving that for the Roman Reigns Big Show match, which we'll get to. But I mean, it was okay. It was fine. I think that if it was just a regular street fight and they would have went out and kicked the shit out of each other like they could have, it would have been a better match. But for what it was fine. You know, kind of underwhelming. Could have been better.
All right, hold on. But say that thought for a second. I think you just have some breaking news. Hall of Famer just passed away, and legendary promoter Vern Gagne has just passed away. I gotta break that news because
I did see that actually just before we went on the air. It was broken by Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yeah,
man, just a terrible time. Man that pretty much put AWA on the map. You know,
yeah,
it's a pretty insane situation losing one of our brothers in the business.
Yeah, a former 13-time champion. I mean, he's a promoter in AWA, and you know, AWA was a big time back in the 80s and some parts in the 70s, and I was surprised that he put him in the Hall of Fame. He was actually surprised himself because he blamed the WWE for killing the AWA, and then he did have a Hall of Fame career. He had wrestled matches throughout the 70s and 80s, and he just, like I said, just joined the Hall of Fame like, at least 9 years ago, and he's been there ever since. And then, wow, I'm just shocked with the news. Vern Gagne just passed away. We just right now don't know any details what caused his death, so maybe later on during the week we'll find out the news, possibly maybe in Thursday's show. But he lived all the way up to age 89, and he good prayers to his family. And yeah, this is a shocking moment. I'm a little speechless right now, I gotta say. Wow. Yeah. All right,
yeah.
then.
Yeah, it's definitely shocking news. I was just kind of scanning through Twitter, and I started seeing people paying their respects, and obviously I like to pay mine as well. You know, thoughts go out to his family. You know, Vern Gagne, just a legend in the business. former NWA World Champion, former AWA World Champion. I think he was a 10-time AWA champion, former AWA Tag Team Champion, was the sole reason that AWA existed. And, good or bad, what he did in the company, it became a success. And even though eventually it closed down, it was still, a legacy in the wrestling business. And, we can't forget about all the guys that Vern Gagne either trained or I think he helped train, guys like Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, Kurt Hennig, the Iron Sheik. I think he helped in training The Undertaker. So many guys. I believe he helped train, or he trained like over 100 wrestlers. So definitely one of the legends in the business. And then he's in the WWE Hall of Fame already. He was inducted in '06, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So he's in there. Yeah, I think he's one of the few people I read a while ago. He's one of the few people that's in the WWE Hall of Fame, the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame, the Observer Hall of Fame, and the WCW Hall of Fame. So, like I said, a legend in the business. Sorry to hear, that he passed away, but, lived to 89, which is pretty old, so he lived a full life.
Yeah, definitely. If we got any more news about his death, we'll put it out there. But, it's just a sad moment. We just found out about his passing, and, we'll see what happens. And, that's a big toll for the wrestling business. They just lost a pioneer in the business, Vern Gagne. And I just want to put out about Vern Gagne. A lot of WWE Hall of Famers was part of the AWA. So, I had to put that out there as well. All right. Let's continue on about Extreme Rules. I think Matt has not yet put his thoughts of about the Chicago Street Fight match. Matt, you want to give your thoughts?
One of the weirdest things I have ever seen in my life. They brawl out. I think didn't it start the show, and then they brawled out, and they came back an hour later and finished off the match.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what Tom said. I mean, it kind of reminded me of the WrestleMania 12 with the Hollywood Backlog Street Brawl, but the only thing is there's no OJ car chase in that match, so that's basically what it was. Yeah. It
reminds me of something that would happen in the Attitude Era. It kind of suits both characters as well, as weird as they are. So I'm not too I'm not mad about it, but I think they could have done something a lot better with that match.
Yeah, definitely. I think it hopefully ends their feud between Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper. Might have did. But we just saw Raw, but we'll see what happens. So Dean Ambrose finally ended his pay-per-view drought there. Next match, I believe it was the John Cena versus Rusev match, the first ever Russian chain match. Never been televised in WWE programming. It wasn't okay. You get your, test is almost, I don't want to say test of strength, but, pulling the chain, all that stuff. You had to tap the turnbuckles. I know the rules. We saw all that. Interesting, we've seen Lana still change her character. Now the crowd chanting for Lana, goes up in the apron and smiles. Rusev kicks her out. And then John Cena ended up getting the victory over Rusev. So John Cena is still your United States champion. But before I give out, or I want to ask Tom for his thoughts, I just also want to throw out there that later on the show, Rusev yelled at Lana and whatever language, Russian language, and Lana went to the authority. And I guess what happened was, I guess the Authority made a match for next month's Payback match. It's going to be John Cena against Rusev this time, and I Quit match. So
I think Triple H had to bust out some Trish Stratus moves on Lana for that one.
Oh yeah, wow.
Little throwback there, if you guys know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just hope Stephanie didn't catch him again. But yeah. So Tom, what's your thoughts of that John Cena Rusev Russian chain match?
It was okay. Nothing really special. I thought their WrestleMania and Fastlane matches were better than this. Still, like I said, it's still an okay match, and obviously, we're getting one more match at Payback with this, so that should be the end of the feud, and that's what this feud kind of felt like, and I think this match, to me, was evident of it, that it just kind of keeps dragging on a little bit. It's not like it's a bad feud, but it feels like it's just kind of like moving on and moving on and moving on, and it feels like it's like never ending. But like I said, it was an okay match. Nothing special. Not one of their best matches.
Before I get into my thoughts on the match, I know we're not covering Raw yet. There we go. But Cena did say tonight that it will be the final chapter. He will give up his rematch clause if Rusev beats him at Payback. So.
Yeah, it needs to be the final chapter, because I'm getting tired of that feud. It's been like since January already. We're already in. Well, this Friday is going to be May. So I'm getting tired of this feud already.
But my thoughts on the match, I thought it was an okay match. I really was not a big fan of the ending. I know they had the tease dissension between Rusev and Lana, but the way Cena just nonchalantly attitude adjusted Rusev and then just touched the turnbuckle to end the match, I wasn't too big on that.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. We'll get back to Lana when we talk Raw later on tonight, when we get to our Raw recap. The next match, I think it was the Divas match. Naomi coming up with new music and lighting shoes, going against Nikki Bella for the Divas Championship.
She's
I really feel like
Naomi's like a more techno version of Sasha Banks.
Yeah, something like that. You can say house music, whatever. I don't get that shit. Yeah, that's basically what she was. And then I think Naomi actually performed really well during that match, but unfortunately she lost the match. And Nikki Bella is still your Divas champion. Thanks to the help of Brie Bella. Yeah, so Tom, do you have any comment for this match between Naomi and Brie? Nikki Bella?
Thought it was okay. Like I said, much like the Cena Rusev match, it was nothing special. There was nothing out of the ordinary. Kind of like a typical Divas match. And the outcome was like I expected. I didn't expect Naomi to win. Nikki Bella retains. I don't know about you guys. I may be in the minority here, but I am not digging Naomi's new heel character. Like, the light up shoes, her new music is absolutely terrible to me. Like, I don't know. I'm not digging Naomi's new heel character. And but like I said, going back to the match itself, just okay. Typical. It's a match you would see on Monday Night Raw. So.
Well, in a way, you gotta think about this. At least Naomi's heel character is giving her more time. At least you don't see her just being the side of the Usos. So.
Yeah. I can see that, but I don't know, all the little things. Like I said, I think her new music is terrible. I don't get the light up shoes. It's really weird. I don't know. But it is giving her more time, so I can give them props on that.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, that's one thing I want to note. Brie actually helped Nikki win the match. I don't know why, but I'm curious. I think I said this last week. I'm still getting this feeling that Cameron's gonna rejoin with Naomi, and they're gonna, have Naomi win the TV title with Cameron on her side. I got a feeling that's gonna happen. Like they're gonna reunite this time.
Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I do have some breaking news actually as well. The TNA departures continue as Hector Guerrero announced he's leaving the company.
Oh wow! I mean, he was part of their Spanish announce team, but wow, is it Hector or Mondo? It's Hector, right?
Yeah, it's definitely Hector.
Well, I remember he was part of Angle at one point during the World Elite thing, and he was doing the Spanish announcing, and it's been a while since I watched TNA in Spanish. I don't know how their announcing in Spanish is doing right now. I have no idea, but I don't know what to say if that's a huge loss or not, but wherever Hector Guerrero is, good luck with him, and hopefully maybe he could join Lucha Underground because I believe there could be a job opening there. I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but there's a job opening there for him, and your Chavo is working there, so maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Lucha Underground Spanish. Yeah. So maybe Lucha Underground could be on this way. All right. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with Naomi and down the road. We'll talk about her maybe later on Raw. All right. I'm trying to see if I don't skip any matches. I don't know if we want to talk about the Ryback Bo Dallas thing. We could skip on that. Roman Reigns against the Big Show, last man standing. I mean, it's the typical thing you see in Raw, but the only thing you see is difference is there's a last man standing. The ending, it was kind of gay because he just pretty much speared the hell out of freaking Big Show to the table, and he fucking threw the table on top of the Big Show, but he doesn't get up, and he stands on it. So that's basically how the ending was. I thought the whole match was okay. They're beating the shit at each other, having Roman going through 2 tables and all that shit. And the ending was he just that was pretty gay.
That choke slam through those 2 tables and him getting up, that really just threw me off, man. I hated that. Like,
yeah.
a choke slam through a table would have been fine, but over the top rope, onto the floor, through 2 tables, and he still gets up. It was like John Cena 2.0. Like, I get that's probably what they're trying to push him as, but Jesus Christ.
Super Roman, that's what you can call him now.
Yeah, you might as well get like some like R symbols in the form of a Superman logo. Shit.
Fuck it, and have his own Justice League. It's like we're seeing in the new trailer coming. We just threw out. Fuck it, find a Batman for him. All right, Tom, you want to comment on that match in Roman Reigns and the Big Show?
It was a better match than I thought it was going to be. There were definitely a lot of points in the match that I enjoyed. Pacing of the match was better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, so like I said, I thought it was a much better match than I anticipated it going to be, and surprising, it was one of the better matches on the show. So even though, I hated this feud sucked. We've been saying it for months now. This whole Big Show Roman Reigns feud was absolutely god-awful. I can give them props in saying that it was a good match. And, everybody expected Roman Reigns to look strong because, that's what they got to do. But, match had its purpose, and like I said, it was more enjoyable than I originally planned. I didn't fall asleep while watching it, so I consider it a victory.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, especially that to me it was pretty good. I was actually enjoying it until the ending fucking fucked it up. All right. Then I guess we could go on to the main event, which was ended up being Seth Rollins against Randy Orton for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Kane, Asher, Gatekeeper. I don't know why I keep calling that because it reminds you of the Ghostbusters. The match was like, it was okay, but then you get what you expect. You have J&J was going to interfere somehow, some way, and then Kane was going to end up losing his cool, which he did. Randy Orton did use the RKO, but he used it on Kane, not on Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins ended up winning the match by using the RKO, and then that's how he actually beat Randy Orton, and he didn't pin him, but he just went through the door, and that's how he won the match. Jerry Lawler did point out that, the RKO was banned, and Seth Rollins did it, but if you look, the referee did not see him using the maybe called the SKO, the Seth KO. Tom, you want to put a thought of the main event?
It was okay. To me, the match of Mania was far more enjoyable than this match. I don't know. There was just something about the pacing of the match, and then Kane interfering, and it was an overbooked mess. I did think the ending was good, but for the most part, it was just an overbooked main event cage match on a pay-per-view, and it's typical for WWE to do that on these, in between shows, to just overbook these matches into a giant mess, and I hate it. Like, there's no point in doing all these interferences and run-ins and count-outs and distraction finishes and roll-ups and, et cetera, et cetera. It's just, all these screwy finishes that WWE does is like, it's starting to get old.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially not knowing the fact if Kane was face or heel. Like, guy turned like 10 times in the frickin' match.
Yeah, we'll see what this thing with Kane leads to. I don't know how long this thing's going to take, but when he's going to the authority, when he's putting the mask on, whatever he's going to do, I don't know how long it's going to take, but it looks like it's going to take longer than we expect. But that was Extreme Rules Extreme Rules. Some people graded it 6 out of 10. I don't know about you guys, but
I'm going Bret Hart. I'm going 4 out of 10.
I don't think it was 4 out of 10. I would, if I had to give it a grade, I rarely, grade pay-per-views and all of that. But if I had to give a grade for this, it would probably be like a 6.5 out of 10. Kind of in the middle. There was nothing really good on the show, but there was nothing too bad to make it a horrible pay-per-view. Just kind of a kind of show.
The only reason I gave it a 4 is because the build was absolutely awful and it really didn't deliver. Like, WrestleMania had no build whatsoever and it was like the best show ever. So I was kind of like giving it the benefit of the doubt going into it. Maybe there was going to be something decent. And I didn't really see anything that stood out on the show. So, that's where I'll stand. Whatever.
Yeah, definitely. I guess we're going to end our talk about Extreme Rules. We're going to move on and talk about Raw. Maybe we should take a little commercial break first, then we'll talk about Raw. We'll be right back.
What's up? This is the phenomenal AJ Styles down here in LA, kicking it with the PWG, busting my tail. Freaking great tournament, bowler tournament. It's freaking amazing. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, everybody and anybody needs to listen to Wrestling Head Podcast.
My name is Rich Swan, and we're at PWG, but you are now listening to the WrestleHead Radio.
Yeah, shout out to AJ Styles and Rich Swan for doing a little soundbite there. Yeah, hope we get to see him pretty soon here in Los Angeles.
I guess we're going to be...
I'm to see him pretty soon.
Yeah, I guess we're going to be getting into a little bit of Raw talk, but before we get into it, I just wanted to bring up apparently some line that Booker T said tonight about Owen Hart. Anybody catch it? Because I did not, and I've seen all this, like...
Oh, yeah. So
what happened?
Okay, so everybody on social media is freaking out because of a comment Booker T made. So they were talking about, it was during the Neville-Luke Harper match tonight, and they said something along the lines of, you know, Neville was going to be the first man that the first king that gravity forgot, or the first high flyer. Let me see if I can get the exact quote. Okay, so here's what they said. Adrian Neville may be the first high flying king of the ring. And then I believe it was either JBL or Cole said Owen Hart was a high flyer, but not like this. I believe JBL said that. So then Booker T said Owen Hart didn't defy gravity.
Oh, okay, now I got it. Wow. I mean,
yeah. So people were kind of everybody's kind of freaking out. I don't think it was meant for intent, like to make a sick joke. I think it was just like the wrong placement of words, and it's something that when you say something and the words start coming out of your mouth, like you can't take it back, they just start like pouring out, and you're like, wait, no, get back in my mouth, come on. I don't know. I think people are freaking out. I thought somebody said that Booker.
I totally agree with you here. Like it's probably something that like he didn't mean in that sense, but the fact that he said it and how sensitive we are in the world of in 2015, it's definitely not the right thing to say at all.
Yeah, I mean, the word he has history of slipping words out of his mouth was not meant to say, like, we all know the famous Hulk Hogan one. You know, I'm not going to say it.
Especially if they're trying to get on right terms with the wife as well to try to get him into the Hall of Fame. I think that was kind of a sour thing to do.
Yeah.
I know. I'm one of the guys that's hoping and I was hoping that freaking Owen Hart gets in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he's my number one guy that wants to get in now. Because now that I have some guys I want to go in, like Hart got in and all this. And there's like a list, and Owen Hart's at the top of my list now that I want him in the Hall of Fame. But it's the only thing is that his wife is holding it all up, you know. So I mean, WWE could do anything. Like, can Bret Hart or the Hart family convince her to bring him in the Hall of Fame? I mean, can they do something about it? But the whole thing with Booker T doing this, I mean, it might be more. It could be more tough now. And also, you guys got to remember this though. Last night, and in the pre-show on Extreme Rules, he mentioned Melina, and this was also broke on social media as well, which they were naming some divas, and Melina's name popped up, and he did mention that nobody liked Melina anyways. And then, which we all heard stories about, well, at the time Melina was in the WWE, no one didn't like her because she had a shitty attitude and all this stuff. And
she cheated on John Morrison with Batista. But anyways, story for a different time. We do have a caller.
I heard Melina got around the ring and back in more ways than one.
Yeah, well, I've heard that about a few ladies. But a story for a different time. We do have a caller from Eyes on the Ring. Let's bring him in here. Nathan, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on?
What's going on, Nathan?
Yep. And I heard you guys, before you guys brought me in, I heard you guys talk about Melina, and I just want to say that I was tweeting Raw tonight from both the Eyes on the Ring main account and my account, so I was juggling 2 accounts. On the Eyes on the Ring account, I made, because JBL said some comment about Melina, Lita, and someone else, I can't remember who it was, but basically saying that this person was as good as them, and I'm like, well, Melina wasn't a good wrestler. And someone just tried to shit all over me. They're like, you need to do your research. Melina was awesome. It's like, whatever. And then it's like, I blocked this person. And
I will definitely back you up here, Nathan, and I will say the only fucking thing Melina had going for her is her splits entrance. Anything else, she was fucking terrible.
Yep. And I've never had to block someone on the Eyes on the Ring account, but I did it then, and then I sent a DM to True God, and I just told him, I said, just so you know, I blocked someone on the Eyes on the Ring account, and he goes, well, I don't give a shit, so you can do whatever you want. So I was like, well, okay, sounds good.
Well, when you have people being bitch asses, I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, who the hell is thinking
I made a comment. And the comment I made, it's funny, the comment I made wasn't even tonight, because I did both the pay-per-view last night and then Raw tonight on Eyes on the Ring. And the comment I made wasn't even tonight, so the person saw it from last night and then decided to call me out on it. So I'm like, well, if it was a comment I made on Raw, sure, I'd validate it, but because you waited like 24 hours and we're way late, I'm like, I just told him, I was like, fuck you.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. The only person who's saying Melina's a good wrestler is Cameron. But that's a story for a different time.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
That's funny.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, moving. Let's get back to Raw. You know, let's get away from the Booker T comments.
Yeah, let's not talk about bum asses.
All right. Well, okay. Well, Raw started off pretty much Seth Rollins celebrating or was being all happy that he won the cage match, and then back and forth, him and Kane going on it again.
I seriously have one word for this Kane stuff, man. Well, technically 2, and that is
fucking bullshit.
How did I know? How did I know you were going to do that? How did I know? And before anybody else continues, I wanted to jump in. Sorry to interrupt. Please, can we get one Raw that doesn't start off with like a 10, 15, 20-minute promo? Like this is it's getting to a point of just annoyance where I know that I could skip the first 20 minutes of Raw next week because I know it'll be a promo. Because that's how it's been for months and months and months. Can we start off with a match? Like, is it that difficult to start off with a match? Do we have to have, Seth Rollins or Kane or Authority or somebody coming out and cutting a promo?
Damn it. We need a promo to start off the show.
Damn it, we need to get Kane out there, damn it. Get him out there.
Oh, Jesus.
This whole Seth Rollins Kane thing, it's like, I like Kane. Kane is an all-time legend. He's one of the best guys in the business. He never thinks about himself. He thinks about everybody else, and he wants to put everybody over. And like I said, he's an all-time great. But it's just like, does he really need to be a focus in a main storyline in 2015? That's
exactly where I stood with that Seth Rollins Randy Orton match. Like, I would have loved the match normally. Like, even with this dumbass stipulations with no RKO, with the steel cage, it still would have been an okay match if you didn't have stupid-ass Kane getting involved 95% of the match.
I just don't get it. Like I said, I like Kane. He's one of my favorites, but it's just getting to the point of where I don't want to see him on TV anymore. It's like, him and Big Show, I said this a while back, him and Big Show need to just leave for a while. They need to just be off television.
For a while? I think ever.
Ever.
No, I think they should be off for like a year or two, and then make like a special comeback appearance just for a little bit and then officially retire. I think that would be something ideal because, Big Show... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it's funny that you mentioned that because they're so, once they retire, I mean, guys come back occasionally and whatnot, and they're always welcomed back. But I think in this case, if Kane and the Big Show retire and then they come back, people aren't going to like that. Because it's like we're so overexposed to them now when we shouldn't be in 2015. And usually they phase guys out.
How didn't they send Big Show into the limelight when he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Like, that was just the perfect way for him to retire.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't even think they have to retire. Like I said, if they go away for a couple of years, and then in a few years there's a faction or someone beating down someone. Is it really worth bringing them back when they're 45 years old and all banged up? Just to do a one-time thing. Like I said, somebody is getting beat down by a faction or something, and then Kane's music hits and he comes in and he starts choke slamming everybody. That would get a huge pop. But that would, he would have to be off of TV for years for that to happen.
I guess I see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, definitely. What did I say? Yeah, let's go back to the beginning of the road. Both Randy Orton and Roman Reigns came out, and then they both were bitching about they want a title shot. Roman Reigns beat the Big Show last night. He deserved a title shot. Randy Orton pretty much got screwed. He deserved a rematch, whatever. Seth Rollins, they want to give either guy title matches. So Kane decided to do this. He made a tag match. He put himself teaming up with Seth Rollins against Randy Orton and Roman Reigns. And he also announced that after that match, there's going to be a poll on the app. You can vote on what kind of match you guys want to see in Payback. Either you want to see Seth Rollins going against Randy Orton again, Seth Rollins against Roman Reigns, or Seth Rollins against either I see Seth Rollins against Roman Reigns and Randy Orton in a triple threat match. So you have those three options.
I think the funniest thing about this whole situation is that WWE is actually acting like the fans have a say in what was going to go down here when they had this match planned at least a week ago when they released that commercial. I think hilarious.
When it goes into the theory, too, that the polls are fixed, because I've heard that before. That these polls, no matter who votes, they're fixed.
Yeah. Well, we'll continue. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We can talk about how polls are getting fixed and all that a little bit later. But yeah. I'm trying to say, once again, we saw, I forgot how the first match starts, but I can start off with saying this, though. Once again, Ryback and Bo Dallas went at it again. Ryback won, but then the rumors were true. Whoever Bray Wyatt was talking about would end up being Ryback. It was rumored last night that they were going to have a feud, or last week pretty much, they were going to have a feud, and it looks like it's going to happen, which you guys might think I'm crazy, but I'm actually okay with it. And here's why. I feel like with this feud, Bray Wyatt can actually, redeem himself. So starting off from beating Ryback at a pay-per-view, then he could go on against guys, maybe a Roman Reigns or a John Cena, and he can go after these guys too and make them look strong again. So
I hate to say it. I think this is the nail in the coffin for both these guys.
I don't think so. I don't think so. If fucking Ryback beats Bray Wyatt, then yeah, I feel like the nail comes for Bray Wyatt now.
Even then, like,
it's a nail in the coffin forever for whoever loses.
Relegating Bray Wyatt to this after WrestleMania match with The Undertaker kind of just makes Bray Wyatt look like a piece of shit, to be honest.
Yeah, but what if Bray Wyatt wins and he moves on to probably feuding against maybe Cena?
But what exactly does a win against Ryback do? What is Ryback?
Well, start off something and make him go back to how he was, a monster. Start off something, you can't just have him expect to be a monster and have him be a guy like either Randy Orton or freaking John Cena right away.
I feel like, man, the biggest booking mistake WWE has ever done with Bray Wyatt was breaking up the Wyatt family. Ever since those three have broken up, all three of them have pretty much have no direction, and it's so annoying as a fan.
That's why I wish they would bring them back together.
Yep.
But I don't think they're going to do that.
Like, where the hell has Eric Rowan been?
Eric Rowan is always to be seen.
Like, Eric Rowan is a fantastic, underutilized talent, and you will not see him on television. He'll probably Justin Gabriel himself and go get himself released.
He's from my hometown, and I've always thought the guy was really good, and I was glad to hear that he got signed, and it was great that they were doing something with him for a while, but now it's like they're not doing anything with him. Where has he been? And I liked his character development post-Wyatt family breakup, but they're not really doing anything now.
And then we see Harper, you give him the Intercontinental title, but when he loses every fucking match while he's champion, what the hell does that do for him?
Nothing.
They
do that with all their champions, though. They give a guy a title, and then they have him lose every fucking match.
Well, Rollins did get pinned tonight, too.
It's weird with Harper, because I feel like Harper's in a good position right now because he's being utilized as this kind of, putting guys over, but he's still portrayed as like this monster. He made against SmackDown. He's in, pretty important matches on Raw. He's, at least now he's getting time to kind of talk. Like, there was months where he wasn't saying a word, and now he's cutting promos, and he's getting backstage segments. So it's funny that out of, between him and Bray Wyatt, I think he's in a better position than Bray Wyatt right now. He gets every single week in the ring. He's on SmackDown. He's getting backstage segments as well, like I said. And, I think that's what WWE sees in Luke Harper as just a guy that can go out there and go in the ring with anybody, put on a good match, still kind of, be that intimidating monster-type character. So I think Harper's in a good position. Obviously, I think it could be better. I think you could build up Harper even more. But Bray Wyatt, they have just completely squandered that guy. It's going to take a bit to get him back.
It's heartbreaking, man.
Yeah, and it is. Like, I think the whole John Cena thing was the beginning. Bray Wyatt should have won. Bray Wyatt should have won that feud. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Oh, well, he had a match against Cena at WrestleMania, and, that was important, and, it's going to elevate him, and bullshit. Look where he's at now. You think that match against Cena at WrestleMania and that feud helped him? No, it fucking didn't, because he didn't win the goddamn feud. And it's just frustrating. And then, they leave him off TV for a while, and then they bring him back, and there's some momentum. And, then it gets him to an important match with The Undertaker, even though it wasn't really booked that way, facing The Undertaker at WrestleMania after he loses his streak. It's a pretty big deal. And it could have been a win for Bray Wyatt. I think he should have won that in the fact that, like I said when we were talking about our pre-WrestleMania talks, is that you have Undertaker lose, and then, Sting lost his match, and obviously they're probably building up to a Taker-Sting match at WrestleMania 32. I think that's the plan. And both those guys lose their match, and then they say, well, you know what, we're going to have one final match, and there's only going to be one winner. But like I said, they've just completely squandered anything that Bray Wyatt has, any momentum, any sort of power. It's just, it's ridiculous. And a feud with Ryback, yeah, it'll get him a little bit more over, and I guess maybe be the start of a push. I don't know. I thought it was funny. I thought he was going to recruit Bo Dallas tonight. I thought he was going to come out and Bo Dallas was going to join him, and they were going to do kind of a brother sort of thing going on there between those two.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what happens between Bray Wyatt. I mean, like I said, I hope this start off something with Bray Wyatt, and I still don't have, I still haven't given up on him. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see what happens. All right. Naomi went against Brie, but before that match started, I guess you want to get details about Daniel Bryan, about his injury. We still got no information about it, when he's coming back. But then when Brie was talking to Renee Young, after all that, Naomi came on and pushed her and said that no one gives a damn but people or your husband. So I was like, damn, right there. So then they had a match, and this time Naomi won. And this looks like this feud's going to go on, and I'm still calling it Funkadactyls are going to reunite and take down the Bellas. I mean, I'm still calling it. I don't think you guys have a comment. Any of you guys have a comment about that? No?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, do I want to see Cameron? No. Do I want to see the Funkadactyls reunite? No. I don't know. Like, there's something. I don't know. It's just like right now the Divas division. There's no Paige going on. AJ left, even though I didn't think AJ was the best in the ring, but at least she brought a lot to different feuds. I don't know. There's just not a lot of hype going around the Divas division. It's even staler than what it usually is, and they, normally don't get a lot of time. So I don't know, and it's weird because they turn Naomi heel, and then that automatically made the Bellas face. I don't get that. I don't get how the Bellas just automatically went from being the bitches of the company to now everybody likes them.
And we still don't know why the Bellas are back together in the first place.
I think
they didn't explain that either.
A while ago, and they're like, well, I think Brie was like, I forgive Nikki, and sisters have to stick together, and blah blah blah. It was some stupid reasoning, but it was just the way to.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. But like when someone says, "I hope you died in the womb," or "I wish you died in the womb," there's like no coming back from that. Like I understand, like they were told to do it and all that, but it blows my mind.
Like I think Brie was like, well, she was just angry. She didn't mean it, or maybe Nikki said it. I don't know.
That's still my favorite line of anything ever said in a WWE ring, because it was completely ridiculous.
Oh my God, I don't know. It's really weird because, like I said, I think Nikki Bella is somebody who's improved tremendously in the ring, but she hasn't had really the right feud and the right time given to her to show what she can do. I think if they hypothetically brought Charlotte up and they did a Nikki Bella Charlotte feud for a while, that would bring out a lot in Nikki Bella, because Charlotte obviously is one of the best down in NXT as far as the women's division is, and they could put on some great matches. But I don't know, just right now it's I think people give a crap less about the Divas division than usual, which is saying a lot.
I think with the state of the Divas division right now, and I heard somebody say this the other day, or actually not the other day, last night when Nikki won her match, but I think they're setting up for Nikki Bella to break AJ Lee's record of the longest Divas champion, to get AJ Lee's name out of the record books. Because they can do that with her. They probably can't do that with CM Punk. But
yeah. But didn't AJ hold it for like a year?
Yeah,
she held it for like 200 and some odd days, I think. It wasn't like a full year or anything.
Oh yeah, he's right. Well, it was almost a full year because if you remember, she won at I think it was Extreme Rules of 2013, and she held it.
It was Payback.
Or Payback.
It was Payback 2013.
Yeah, Payback 2013, and then she lost the night after WrestleMania 30. So it's almost a full year that she won it. But the only way if Nikki could break that, if Nikki keeps the title till near Survivor Series, and I don't know if she'll keep it that long, But and then I don't know
if she did, they'd have to call enough divas up from NXT in order to keep her opponents fresh and all that, because wrestling the same people over and over again isn't going to work.
But we'll see what happens. I don't know. At the same time, I don't know if this whole total diva thing's legit, but in that season finale, they're saying they don't want to come back to WWE. They don't want to resign. So, I mean, if it's really legit, then how long is their contract going to, continue on? So, who knows?
I've heard from some sources that they only have like 3 months left, but again, that's the internet and it can't be trusted. So, and I only saw it reported one time from some outlet. I can't even remember what it was. So, chances are that whatever site that was just making stuff up to sound like they know stuff. Because I haven't seen it reported. I haven't seen it reported anywhere else.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens between Nikki and Naomi. Probably have a rematch at Payback. You might see Cameron. Who knows? All right. It was announced on the network all over whatever you could from WWE that they announced the return of the King of the Ring, and the first round was going to go on Raw tonight, and then the rest of the tournament will take place tomorrow night on the WWE Network. So they announced 4 matches, 8 participants. The 8 participants are Neville going against Luke Harper, Dolph Ziggler against Wade Barrett. I'm mistaken. I remember right. It was Dolph Ziggler against Wade Barrett.
Yep.
R-Truth and Stardust, and Dean Ambrose and Sheamus. Start off with Wade Barrett and Dolph Ziggler, which Wade Barrett won that match. Out of all those King of the Ring matches, I thought that was the best one. And then the other match, R-Truth defeated Stardust, and then the other one, Sheamus actually won by DQ because of Dolph Ziggler. So Sheamus defeated Dean Ambrose by DQ, and Neville beat Luke Harper. So, I have a question for all of you guys. Is there any prediction you want to, or anybody you're expecting to win the King of the Ring? And is there any, who do you guys think is going to win the King of the Ring? Because to me, it's kind of interesting because I don't know what the hell they're doing with the King of the Ring. I remember at one point it was the money of the bank, kind of in a way. Like if you win the King of the Ring, you're sure locked to be a top star in the WWE. Like guys like Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Edge, Kurt Angle. Mabel.
All right, I had to say that.
Yeah, Mabel, Triple H, Billy Gunn, King Shamrock. They all won the King of the Ring, and some of those guys have been in the top. Some you can say they have Hall of Fame type career. Oh, Sheamus actually won one, and William Regal as well won one too, and Booker T. So if they're gonna be treating the King of the Ring like something like, you know, if it meant something again, then the person I will choose will be Neville to win it all. But if you're gonna treat it like shit, then oh well, whatever. Give it our truth. Do you guys have any comments about the return of the King of the Ring? And you guys think if they're bringing it back like it meant something, or
I
or
have a prediction. It's going to be King K. Quick.
Oh shit!
Is that
means
KKK?
See, you picked up on my joke. That's so bad.
That was not appropriate. That was not appropriate. That was offensive. And you know what? Twitter is going to blow up like they did at Booker T.
I apologize, folks. That was awful.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I don't know, like, this King of the Ring thing just, like, it came out of left field. Like, they announced it, and it was like, okay, but what's the end game in this? Is the end game that the winner gets to call himself king? Are they going to get a title shot at one of the titles? Does the winner get, you know, a night with Nikki Bella? Like, what's the end game with this whole thing? And
as long as they film
the
night with Nikki Bella for the network, that's fine.
Oh wow!
Oh my God! And it's, I don't know, with Sheamus winning, I have this feeling that Sheamus is going to win, but there's also hope that it could be Neville. I think they do
use the tournament to establish Neville for sure.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, you know, I think Barrett's going to beat R-Truth. So you can't do, I don't think you can do Sheamus and Bad News Barrett as the finals. You'd have to do Neville versus Bad News Barrett. So I don't know. I think Neville has a good chance, and, you know, King Neville has got a good ring to it.
I just wanted to say I think what I would like them to do, and they've done this in the past, like when Brock Lesnar won the title, he got a shot at when he won King of the Ring, he got a shot at the WWE title at SummerSlam. I don't necessarily think they're going to go that route, but if whoever wins it, which I would like it to be Neville, but if it's not, whatever. But whoever does win it, I think it would be a good idea to maybe give them an Intercontinental or a U.S. title shot at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be great.
Something.
Yeah, that'll be great. But let's just see what the whole King of the Ring. I just think that they should bring it back as a pay-per-view again. That's my thought. They should bring it back.
Well,
get rid of
payback because it's on the network and we pay for it. But
yeah, but I mean, get rid of these all like payback. What's the point of payback? Well, there's another one, Fastlane. Like, get rid of all that.
I never want to see another Fastlane ever again.
Yeah, why not replace the King of the Ring?
How did they not use Eminem's song for Fastlane? Like, come on, man, ball dropped.
What did they use? I don't even remember. It was terrible though.
All right, so we're pretty much all hoping Neville wins the damn thing. But we'll see. I mean, Neville been impressing since he joined the main roster. I mean, his match with Luke Harper was probably the best match of all those matches in the first round. I mean, I'm sure I think they have worked in the past during, like, in Dragon Gate USA, I want to say, or and some Evolve. I believe they worked in the past before. But, you know, they put out a good match. Yeah. And you know what thing pissed me off, though? During that match, that when it was going on, JBL commented that, well, Luke Harper not realize how tough Neville is. It's not easy to beat him. Well, you should get your facts straight. They had history before. I believe they were in a rivalry one time in NXT, and I believe Neville took the tag team titles away from Luke Harper. Like, I don't know if they ever forgot about that, but they should have get their facts straight. They don't want NXT. JBL was the commissioner at one point. I mean, maybe there's a reason why he's not the commissioner anymore. But yeah, they had to mention that. They should at least mention that. At least when the match started, they shouldn't mention that these guys have history together in a tag team role. But
I'm
there's
thinking
one point
JBL. I'm thinking JBL spikes his Mountain Dew with vodka every week, man. There's got to be something behind this madness.
Because he made some weird comments tonight.
Yeah.
Weirder than usual.
He can't spike his Mountain Dew because they don't fucking drink them. They stay full the whole show. I think Jerry Lawler on the pay-per-view was like the only one to drink it. Oh my God! But yeah,
and he's the one that shouldn't be drinking it. Out of all of them.
The irony of that.
Yeah, but Neville. I expected Neville and Harper to have the best match on Raw because you put in two great workers together. They gave them time. They each got some high spots. And one thing that I noticed from the matchup tonight, Neville is, everyone talks about. I think Sami Zayn is probably the best seller in the business, but Neville's up there. The way he took that powerbomb, it looked like Harper murdered him. Neville is just he's such an incredible talent. He's so multi-versatile. I also think he's much better on the microphone. It seems like he's kind of still getting comfortable doing promos and stuff. That's really his only weakness. But
yeah,
he's a freak of nature.
Something interesting, Tom. But there was one point that I remember when he got signed to WWE. A lot of people were concerned about his mic work. Like, I mean, will his mic work in the WWE? Because even during the Indies, his mic work was not really that great, and that was his very weak point, his mic work. So maybe when they built that performance center, it helped him out a lot. So I mean, now his mic work is way better than it was before, even at the time he was in NXT. So.
The thing with Neville is that he's just such a great in-ring talent. Like the stuff he does in the ring is stuff nobody's ever seen before, and he's so fluid. And he's a good mix of power and of course his high flying. His mic skills don't have to be as strong as some of the best talkers in WWE. It doesn't have to be that strong. It just has to be, I think, passable, and I think it brings to the point.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what happens in the King of the Ring. Maybe you guys will watch Too Hot for TV after we do the show with Jerry Springer. So.
No thanks.
As long as we actually see something that's too hot for TV, like some HLA or something. Come on, let's make it happen.
I think what it was.
You might see HLA.
I think the concept of that Too Hot for TV, it wasn't an actual live show or anything new. They were just showing like crap that's already happened. So it's like that's why I'm not even going to bother to watch it.
They might show the cat's titties. Remember Cat? They might
or some wardrobe
malfunctions. They might show Triple H doing a dummy in a casket, in a cage mask, or in a cane mask.
Or Triple H pedigreeing Stephanie.
Or Tom was there live at the Royal Rumble 2000 when you saw Mae Young's titties.
Oh my God!
I saw that I was watching that live, and I saw it, and me and my dad were watching it. We damn near almost threw up. It was disgusting.
I was 7 years old at the time. No, I was actually 6 going on 7. And I was at the Rumble, and, we weren't up close, but we had good seats. And when Mae Young's thing came up, I wasn't paying attention, and everyone's like going crazy. So I asked my dad, I was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I'll tell you when you're older." I was like, "Okay, what is that supposed to mean?" But God, thanks for making me remind me of that. I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Oh man, maybe we can see some like Bella wardrobe malfunctions. There's been quite a few.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to stop being pervs. Let's move on here.
Please,
right.
let's talk about some of the other things that happened.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. You want to talk about no Adam Rose, Fandango, Rosa Mendes is with Adam Rose now.
No, nobody cares.
Could she just get released? Like, seriously.
Stop sucking Michael
she's been with
Hayes'
the
dick,
company and,
ho.
Yeah, well, that's the only reason why she has a job. She hasn't done anything in 8 years. Someone told me a couple months ago that she's been employed since 2006, and it blew my mind.
Yeah, I've heard rumors that the only reason she's keeping her job is because she's doing some backroom business.
Yeah, that makes sense. Michael Hayes is a pervert.
She is. Like, she has no talent because they've done everything with her. She's been in the ring, she's garbage. They've tried her as a manager, she's garbage. They've tried her in every possible scenario, and she's garbage. She's not going to get any better. She doesn't want to seem to get better. I heavily criticized Eva Marie, and I think I was right to do that, but I will say now at least she's putting in the effort to make herself better. And she's trying, so I can give her that. But Rosa is just pure shit. Please, get rid of her.
Her and Cameron, Joe.
One thing I wanted to talk about with you guys, because it's just kind of starting up right now. Tonight on Raw they showed a bunch of the Tough Enough audition videos. Is it just me, or I've seen maybe one good Tough Enough audition video? The rest have been absolute shit. I worry about the people who audition for this stuff.
There's one, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's this guy, and he he puts himself through a table, and it's like one of those tables that's got 4 quadrants that are cut out, and they have glass in it. Well, he took the glass out, and his dumbass decided to put himself through the table, and it was the dumbest crap I've ever seen, because it's like, if I'm someone from WWE and I'm watching that, I'm just going to think you're a dumbass, and I'm going to laugh at you. I'm not going to say, oh, let's get this guy on Tough Enough or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been checking out some of the videos on YouTube, and there is, like I said, there's maybe been one good one that I've seen, but other than that, nobody has any fucking personality or originality or imagination. They're all the same. Only a select few actually look like they could be wrestlers. The rest are like fat or skinny little shits that couldn't look like they couldn't work out for 5 minutes without getting tired. It's, like I said, I worry about what this show is going to be. And actually, I totally forgot about this. One of the people that sent in a video that I saw, and I campaigned for this person a while ago that she should have been in the WWE, is Lufisto. Why is this fucking woman not in the company kicking ass? It blows my mind.
Yeah, and I've seen her so many times when she comes here to in Los Angeles. I'm like, wow, she's very talented. Like, I would like to see her and Natalia get it on. That would be freaking awesome. Canadian chicks beating the shit out of each other. I would love to see
that. Would rule.
Yeah, and you know what? When you're going to be bringing up a bunch of divas soon, like, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte are all going to be called up, I'm pretty sure, relatively soon, some sooner than later. But you're going to have to restock that NXT women's division, and why not put Lufisto in there? It's dumb that she has to go through Tough Enough in order just to get a shot in WWE, but, if she can get it, then she should win it.
Well, they did the same thing with Ivelisse, and look where she's at now. She's tearing it up in Lucha Underground, so it all depends on what they're able to do and how much they like the person, because that's really what it comes down to. It's a popularity contest.
Yeah, and I don't even know who's going to be the host for Tough Enough this season. We know it's probably not
I've heard Jericho, but I don't like that idea.
No, and it's just like I said, Austin was the perfect guy for that job because he was honest. He was, he was funny, but he was tough on those people, and he was very critical for the right reasons. It's just, oh my God, I don't know. I'm not. Everybody seems to be hyped about Tough Enough, and I'm not at all, especially after watching all these shitty little videos.
Yeah. Let's see if Lufisto makes it. Maybe she will be in Tough Enough. I'm seeing all the Lufisto things on Twitter right now. So we'll see if Lufisto gets in there. But there's a tag team you guys are familiar about, but they could be. Well, they already put out their videos, but the Blossom Twins, they could try to get in there. They're posting some videos. I mean, I saw a little bit of them. I saw some in TNA and a little bit in OVW, but who knows? They might want more twins. There's a couple of names I actually saw. What's his name? The guy from Texas. What's his name again? Fuck. Shit, I forgot his name. He's from Texas, and he posted a video. I mean, fuck. I think he had matches with Chris Hero and shit. I forgot his fucking name. Fuck. Well, whatever. I'll get back to him. But I know Tim Sadisco, the son of Larry Sadisco, had to put a video out there as well. Yeah, he's going in. I mean, he kind of looks like his dad in a way, but good luck with that, I have to say. I don't know if he has any talent. I'm not familiar with his work, but yeah, I have no idea. I'm surprised. What's her name hasn't put a video out? Terry Blatcher's daughter, Tessa Blatcher. I haven't seen her in there.
I think she did.
Oh yeah?
Or maybe I'm wrong, but she definitely should, because I think she'd have a good shot of getting in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if you guys heard the name Ryan Bowers. He put a video out there.
Do you guys know who Dylan Bostic is?
Oh, I heard of him.
Yeah,
He
I saw
a video as well.
I saw some people, what's it called? Not tweeting it out, but commenting on it on Twitter about his video, and I saw it, and the guy looks. It looks like a gimmick too similar to Tyler Breeze, except Tyler Breeze pulls it off 1,000 times better because at least he actually looks pretty muscular. Like this guy looks like he's the same weight as me, and I'm a really skinny guy. So
yeah, I know.
That's pretty funny, and he's got just little haircut going on, little metrosexual haircut going on, and I don't know. He was a little weird, but he seems to be getting a lot of views. So.
Oh, now I remember the guy's name that I was talking about. Jake Logan. He's from Texas. You guys heard of him? He got trained by Dory Funk. I don't know if you guys heard of the name. He's from the Texas area. He that's the guy I was talking about. He put a video out there, and let's see if he can get in there. But he got trained by Dory Funk, and guess he can be part of a show on May 16th. For OSW, Matt Hardy's booked on there, so he's going to be part of that show. It's going to be in Osceola, Texas. It's in Texas, so yeah, he got booked on that. So he's pretty known in the Texas area.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens.
I mean, it's funny because I saw some people tweeting out that, oh, this indie guy should have posted a video for Tough Enough, and this indie guy should have. And I don't feel that way. I feel like the unknown people get to post videos, like people nobody knows, because look at what WWE is doing. If you become a big indie talent, you're going to be on WWE's radar now. They're scooping up talent like it's nobody's business. going to be doing it for years and years to come. You become a big indie star, you have a good shot at making it in WWE.
Yeah, definitely. All right. We'll see what happens. Tough enough. Let's see if they make it better than last season. I think last season was terrible, to be honest with you. So we'll see what happens.
What season was it that Matt Cross was in Tough Enough? Was that the last
That
one?
was the last one.
Yeah, like I said,
guy out.
Like I said, yeah, he was the second guy out, one of the most
people.
talented guys on the indie scene, and he's the second guy out. Yeah, WWE knows how to pick talent.
Well, you said Austin was a good host, and he kicked out Matt Cross, and he chose Andy, the winner. So.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if we know the inner workings of Tough Enough. I don't know if it's just Austin's decision, or if some of the the higher ups have some say as well. But that was completely ridiculous. Matt Cross should have won that thing. Like I said, the guy who won Tough Enough, he was never shown on TV. I think he was shown on TV in a backstage segment with Austin once. Never wrestled on Raw. Never wrestled on SmackDown. He didn't do shit, and then he got released. So it was a complete waste.
They sent him to developmental. Like
he was in
right after his
SCW.
first Raw appearance. He came out on Raw, won the damn thing, and then like a week later did something else. And then he reported to, at the time, I think it was still FCW. But then I remember hearing like a couple months later that they just released him.
Because he was probably shit. He probably got in the ring, did a match, and they were like, "Wow, this high shit," and they released.
Yep.
Well, they should have realized that before.
Yeah.
Well, when you're doing Tough Enough and you're putting, sometimes they'll put some trainers in there with those guys. You don't really get a really good indication of how well they can do a match with other people on the roster, especially when they're either facing some of the other people on Tough Enough or trainers, and the trainers aren't doing, like a full match. They're doing just kind of like a little warm-up. You don't get a really good indication what they can do.
Yeah. It's funny when you mentioned about Ava Lee's. She actually got in. They actually signed her, but they released her because she had a backstage attitude. I remember her and Paige were a tag team in SCW. I mean, Eva Lee did have a break, but something happened.
I don't remember that.
But yeah, she was in SCW.
Okay, well, I'm not saying she wasn't. I'm just saying I never was able to watch it. So.
Yeah. I mean, and she was actually part of the NXT. She was part of NXT when it first started doing shows in Full Sail. I mean, she had that feud with Paige, and that was it, and that's what she's on. And I guess she dropped. I mean, she dropped the Paige because there was talk that she was going to the main roster, but then it didn't happen. So, oh well. All right. Well, the main event, the tag match on Raw. Rollins and Kane against Big Show and Big Show, Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. And fortunately, Randy Orton and Roman Reigns won through to Kane losing his cool again. And then the voting thing came on, and then slowly the WWE Universe voted the triple threat match, which we all talked earlier. This voting shit is bullshit, I mean, there was a leak about a week ago that this was the original plan, a triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match for Payback. So, when I found out last night that Roman Reigns beat Big Show, I kind of knew that was going to happen. The triple threat match is happening in Payback. So there you go. The match has been announced for Payback. Rollins defended his title against Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. So there you go. That's your main event. And you also had a die quit match with Cena and Rusev and Lana getting cheered now. So so you got two matches so far. You guys any thoughts on the match or the announcement of the main event?
Yeah, or in main event, just like once again, I was talking earlier about how every Raw starts off with a with a promo. It seems like every Raw ends with a tag match. It's getting ridiculous. Raw starts and ends the same every single week. And there's nothing different on the shows that's standing out. And I don't know. Like I said, this was boring. It was kind of putting me to sleep a little bit, especially after the Neville-Luke Harper match, which was right before it. Like, you can't go from Neville and Harper to this low-down main event match. Like, it's going to take interest away from people wanting to watch it. But I expected what the main event was going to be a payback. I figured it was going to be a triple threat match. Should be, I think right now it's looking to be like a good match. I think they can pull off a good triple threat match. So it's okay.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys want to give out a thought?
I was just going to say, kind of what you guys were saying, or what Tom was saying earlier. Raw is extremely formulaic with the way that they start and end the show. They always start with a promo that's like 20 minutes, half hour, and then they end with the tag match. And it's almost, to me, it's like the creative team is getting extremely lazy, and they found this formula that they apparently like, and then they don't ever get away from it. And that's why we see, like, basically not the same show per se every week, but we see the same exact show structure, just with different people fitting into certain spots. Like from the week previous.
Yeah, I feel you on that part. But, let's just see what happens to Raw next week. But, hold on. Before we off Raw, Booker T just tweeted an apology. He tweeted, "I will never say anything to disrespect the legacy of Owen Hart. If I did offend anyone, I apologize." He just tweeted that. So, well, there you go. They parroted something backstage. I don't know if they're going to find them or anything, but you got to be careful what he's saying. It's history there. But, yeah. All right. I think we got a couple of things to talk about before we get off air. Shout out to Davey Richards and Angelina Love. They got engaged. And also, I don't know if you guys want to have your thoughts on this, but Smashing Pumpkins singer Billy Corgan has joined the TNA creative staff. I'm surprised in this news here. Tom, you got anything you want to comment about that?
Not particularly. I know Billy Corgan is a big wrestling fan. He's been involved with ECW and some other companies as well. So he has the experience, but I feel like this was a move solely on the part of getting publicity for TNA because there's more reports have come out that their numbers on Destination America are dropping even more. I believe it was, I don't think last week, but 2 weeks ago, they were down to 400,000 viewers. And then this week it came out, I think they were down even more, down to 300,000. So while I've been hearing that TNA's been putting on, some good shows on Destination America, people aren't watching. So this was a way just to get interest back into it. I don't know what Billy Corgan's going to do. I don't know what's going to happen. And, to sign a guy like that, it probably wasn't cheap. And it's interesting because, of course, all the reports coming out about several TNA talents not getting paid on time. Chaz stated it on his podcast that he wasn't paid on time and he wasn't being paid. So now you bring in this guy and, who knows how much he's getting paid to be in the company. And, he's a big rock and roll star with the Smashing Pumpkins. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's really interesting, but honestly, to sum it up, it's a TNA move. It's such a typical TNA move.
Yeah, and whatever happened to his promotion he owned? Did he own a promotion in Chicago? State of Chicago? Like, whatever happened to that?
Yeah, he did own, he was doing, well, I think he was like a head and creative for Resistance Pro, and he was trying to get them like a reality show on AMC and everything, and then he just left the promotion back in like November or something.
Okay, all right. So, okay, all right. That explains it. But you know what? I just read something right now. From that ESPN show, I forgot the name of the show, but it has Michael Wilbur and Tony Kirsch. I think it's called
PTI.
Pardon interrupted. Yeah, PTI interrupted. He actually took a shot at Billy Corgan signing with TNA. I think Wilbur brought up saying whatever that is. He doesn't know what TNA. He doesn't follow wrestling, but he doesn't know what else TNA wrestling is. Tony Cornhurst stated that the Smashing Pumpkins ain't selling out arenas anymore and have no gigs, so Corgan needs work someplace.
Oh my! Oh man!
Wow, that's kind of crazy. But I kind of see what you're saying, Tom. They're probably just like putting names out there. I mean, put a big name to hopefully they get some more viewers and tune in Destination America. And you know the problem is that Destination America is not a channel that not all providers have. I don't have Destination America, and I have DirecTV, so I don't have that channel at all. But I do have El Rey Network. By the way, did you guys saw the last episode of Lucha Underground?
Oh yeah, that
whole
episode was amazing. I thought.
I told you.
I know you did. But I think the whole night was just, it was a great episode. Sexy Star and Pentagon Jr., that's such a great feud going on there. I think Pentagon Jr. is the best heel in that company. He's such a great worker. And Sexy Star is just, she's a lovable baby face that you want to see her beat the hell out of Pentagon for what he's been doing. So that's a great feud. But goddamn, that trios match was absolutely insane. Angelico is out of his mind. When he dove off of that ledge, or whatever you want to call it, that was a holy shit moment. And I think it was an ex-striker, Vampiro, that actually said, holy shit. It was the whole trios tournament I thought was great, but that last match that was on the recent episodes, it was just great. All the competitors got their spots in. There were huge spots going in, and I like the story of who won it with, Angelico and Ivelisse. They weren't getting along and all that, and I thought it was a great story. Like I said, Lucha Underground produced another great show, and that trios match is getting a lot of high praise from a lot of people, and rightfully so.
Yeah, but that Angelico spot, wow. Seeing it in person was like, holy shit, man. He's
out of his mind.
I mean, if you want to see more crazier shit, you will see more crazier shit. Trust me. I mean, that was just the beginning. I mean, I wanted you guys to check out this episode, and I was like, holy shit. This is something that Tom and Skids had to watch. Skids wasn't at that episode. He wasn't at that show. But when I saw that match, I was like, fuck, man. I mean, damn, Skids really missed out. And I just can't wait till this shit comes out. So I was there on the balcony. I mean, that shit looked amazing in person. But you'll see some more crazy shit from Angelico and other stars. And about Pentagon, Tom, you will see Pentagon. Actually, you're going to love him more in the next few months. You'll see why. And
yeah, I mean, I absolutely. Pentagon Jr. is so great. He is the perfect heel. He's great in the ring. He has such a different look to him, and the whole storyline of him breaking everybody's arm, and then he went after ring announcer, now Sexy Stars feuding with him. It's so perfect, and it's something so simple in a heel who just destroys people and breaks their bones, and now he was going after a woman, and now a woman, comes to the defense. It's something so simple, but it's so well executed, and it comes off so well on Lucha Underground. Like I said, hats off to them. That's why I look forward to watching Lucha Underground every week, because they just do such a great job with all these different storylines and all these different matches. Like I said, the Trios tournament was so much fun to watch. All the different teams in there, all the different guys were getting their spots. It was great.
Yeah, definitely. Lucha Underground has been doing great. I mean, there's been all these news about Lucha. I've seen the future episodes, and I'll just tell you guys right now, anybody's listening, just keep your eye on Lucha Underground. You will be amazed. You'll see more new talent. Sometimes you like, some you're familiar with, but you will see what's going on. I just can't wait for all you guys to check out Ultima Lucha, because you're going to see names that you guys like going at it, and it's going to be a great event. You guys will enjoy it. I mean, I enjoyed it. Now you guys got to enjoy it. So it's basically, when I say something's good going on, something good's going on. So keep an eye out there, you guys. Lucha Underground is going to be amazing. So
yeah,
it's going to be amazing.
I was going to say, before we do our plugs and all that, is Nathan, are you still there? Nathan still on?
Yo, Nathan?
I believe. Oh, let's try this. Nathan, you there, buddy?
Yeah, my call just mysteriously dropped about 5 minutes ago, so I called in and I was just waiting in the queue. So
it said your call was still on, which is weird. That was really odd.
Well, it's because I called immediately right back.
Okay.
Anyway, so before we do plugs, I know, Nathan, you were at the ROH event at Hopkins over the weekend. How did you like it?
I'll say this, and it kind of goes into my plugs, but I'll say that for the end. But the show didn't look so good on paper. I thought it would have been average or whatever, but the show was really, really good. War Machine faced the Briscoes, and they tore the house down. And the main event was Jay Lethal defending the TV title against Kyle O'Reilly. And they went to a 30-minute time limit draw, and it was absolutely amazing. I'm surprised I got to see a really good match like that on basically a house show. And actually, it was supposed to be a house show, but I think they said that there were cameras there and they were taping stuff. So I think this stuff is going to make it on TV. So you guys will just have to watch. But keep an eye out for the tag match that I mentioned, and then keep an eye out for that TV title match as well.
Definitely. I heard some good things. I read your blog because I wanted to see how ROH did. So definitely going to be checking that out.
A little rumor ROH, I heard some source that supposedly they're coming back to Vegas in July. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, it'd be cool if they do come back in Vegas in July. I will think about going if they do come back in Vegas, so we'll see what happens. All right, I guess it's time to wrap the show. I think it's time to give us our plugs. You guys can follow me at Sinister632. Follow Wrestling Heads on Instagram, Twitter. Just type in Wrestling, you can find us everywhere. Check out our old stuff at Blog Talk. That's our old shows. You can check that out. Or on YouTube, youtube.com/WrestlingHeads. buy our shirts for Wrestling Tees. We just got a new design out there. You should buy that and support us. We appreciate that. I know I already give out my Twitter, Sinister632, but you can also find me on Instagram as well. Follow me there. Check out my wrestling, my classic match of the week on WrestlingHeads.com. I just post this past Saturday, which was from last year's Extreme Rules Daniel Bryan against Kane, which there was fire uses. Oh wow. Yeah, and John, you want to give out your plug?
Yep. You can follow me on Twitter @2tweetme, my only social media account, so that's where you'll find me talking about wrestling 100% of the time. Make sure you check out the rest of the Elite Podcast Network, Eyes on the Ring, Indie Power Rankings, Uncle Mike and Tom Show, Scotty O'Shea got his own show on here. I've actually really enjoyed that, and I know Matt knows Scotty pretty well, and he can vouch for him as well. So I recommend checking that out as well. Beyond the 3 Count, Four Corners Radio. Launch yourself here on the Elite Podcast Network. And like Oscar said, if you're looking for old Wrestling Heads material, youtube.com/WrestlingHeads. Brian Kendrick's interview is on there. Great interview there. Interviews with Hernandez. A whole bunch of different guys and girls, so make sure you check that out as well.
I can definitely vouch for Scotty O'Shea's podcast. Wrestling with Myself is freaking hilarious. Greed Stole the Spot is great as well. All the shows on the Elite Podcast Network are doing fantastic. Speaking of interviews, we got to talk to Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, the American Wolves at Smash Wrestling yesterday, so I recommend checking that out on our YouTube. Probably one of the most hilarious interviews I've done, just for the ending of that interview, and congratulations goes out to both Davey and Angelina on their engagement as well. Really cool to see that, especially after that interview yesterday. You can check out all my interviews that I've done as well on YouTube, youtube.com/Weekly Wrestling Podcast, ProWrestlingTees.com/WWP, @WeeklyWPodcast. We're actually going to be talking to Courtney Rush tomorrow from Smash Wrestling, Shimmer, etc. We're going to be having a Smash Wrestling Art of War review show, recap show technically, talking a little bit about what happened on Sunday night and a little bit more going on here on the Elite Podcast Network, so stay tuned at Elite Podcast Net. Go ahead, Nathan.
You can follow me at Headliner5 on Twitter. Follow Eyes on the Ring at Eyes on the Ring. Visit eyesonthering.com. You guys had mentioned earlier that I just put up, there's a review that I put up for Ring of Honor, which was the conclusion of the Conquest Tour, so go read that. If you want an Eyes on the Ring t-shirt, you can go to darts.spreadshirt.com, pick one up. And then if you want to listen to our old shows, you can go to blogtalkradio.com/Eyes on the Ring. There was only about 7 of them before we had to put the show on hiatus, and then we came back with the Elite Podcast Network. But if you want to go listen to those, you can. And then finally, Facebook.com/Eyes on the Ring, like us, and all that good stuff.
All right. Yeah, all right. Well, I guess till Thursday, we might be talking whatever's going on. Yeah, and a shout out to Skits. He probably jumping up and down because the Dodgers won. They beat the rivals San Francisco Giants.
And probably can't call in because he has a shitty mic.
Yeah, that's true. I guess him being at Dodger games make us forget about us. So yeah, he was there all weekend in San Diego with the Dodgers, and yeah. And people want to see him at Presidential Pro, but it didn't work out. But,
hey, Skits, this one's for you, man.
All right. Okay, well, Skits will be on Thursday, and until Thursday, we are out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.